Car stations on fire. So I knew it wasn't for me, but I spent the whole year with it. I wanted to go. I was fortunate enough to see my parents, because then my father was an hour north of Philadelphia. So I wanted to be close enough.
Good evening. I want to thank everybody for coming out for this evening, which is serving two purposes. One, we are celebrating the community kickoff for our e-communities initiative, but also 3 years ago we marked it as June 20th, 2014. All Aboard Grafton began as a result of the Turn This Town Around initiative, and through the help of the West Virginia Community Development Hub, who still helps us and heavily involved with us, and New South Media, who who provided the initial funding for Turn This Town Around. That's how we started. But we're here this evening for those two reasons, and as we get started, we hope to have you out of here between 7:30, no later than 8 o'clock, because we don't need to drag this thing out that long. But as we get started, first of all, we're a small enough group, we can go around and just speak really loudly, tell who you are and why you're here very quickly. And we don't need to hear your life story, we can catch that later. But I'm Tom Hart, Chairman of All Aboard Grafton, local business owner. And we'll go right over here.
David Cantu, local business owner.
Amanda Workman with the West Virginia Community Development Hub.
Andy?
Andy Collins here for the meeting.
Brianna Collins, and I'm the VISTA leader for the West Virginia Community Development Hub.
I'm Donna Hart, I'm a local business owner.
Margaret Tracker, and I'm here for the meeting.
Rebecca, who
Oh, hi, I'm Rebecca Kiger. I live in Wheeling, West Virginia, and I'm here taking photographs for the Benedum Foundation annual report. Grafton's in the spotlight this year.
Hey! Next table back, Mr. Cool. Why you got your mouth full?
Cool, and I'm a business owner, and I'm here to see what this is all about.
Very good.
I'm Jeanette Poole, his wife. I'm here for the networking and the meeting. My name's Kathy Green, and I represent Taylor County Schools.
Patricia Henderson, Director of the Taylor County Economic Development.
Tony Beltree, Taylor County Commissioner and a local business owner.
Amanda Slayton, I'm from First Community Bank, and I'm just here to see what it's all about.
Doug Floor, Grafton Farmers Market.
Chris Floor, just here for the meeting. Nutella Floor, same thing. Carla Block, First Community Bank.
I'm Patty Showers Ryan. I'm the president of the Community Foundation, just looking to get more involved in the community.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm doing some volunteering with the Health Facility.
Toby Caden. I go to Grafton High School and I'm just trying to volunteer where I go.
Kathy Coons Griffith. I'm the FRN director, and I want to help out as much as I possibly can.
Carol Manzoni, I'm the FRN system.
Hi, I'm Joanne Wasco. Just looking to potentially start a business in Grafton, so networking.
Tim James, First Pipeline, West Virginia.
I'm Susie Higgins. I'm a business coach with the Small Business Development Center, and I came for the free food.
Finally an honest person.
Laura Davis, and I just came to see what it was all about. I want to see Grafton grow.
Kevin Stead, and this lady here took my line. So I'm here for the food. I'm the city manager.
Peggy Barney, I'm the mayor of Grafton.
Dave Barney, the mayor's chauffeur.
And that's the truth.
Bryson Taylor, and I am the manager of the Mountain States Relief.
Brian Smith, the Project Open Adventure Club.
Sheldon Fendley, I'm just here for the meeting.
Deborah Nicolo, city resident, and here for the meeting.
I'm Michelle Mauser, and I'm with the Mayor Mine.
I'm George Tucker, and I'm just here for the meeting.
I'm Melissa Garvin. I'm a local business owner and co-owner of Taylor County Fireworks. Woo-woo!
I'm Mary Sheltersworth, and I am with the Taylor County Arts Council, Patch Coalition, and the Tiger Lake State Park Foundation.
Very good, thank you very much. I just want to go back to Sheldon Finley real quick and pick on him. Sheldon is also with the Knights of Columbus, and they have graciously provided the use of their facility here this evening, and we definitely appreciate that, so thank you very much. Now, as we move forward with the agenda this evening, you're going to hear us talk a lot about e-communities, but what is e-communities? And so we want to say e-communities is not about e-commerce or about environment and ecology. It's about energizing entrepreneurial communities. That's a hard word to say, but you'll get it one of these days. Maybe I will too. But as we made the introductions this evening, there's one thing that was lacking in all the introductions is that the e-communities does have a core leadership team that has already been established. And I'm a part of that team. Donna Hart's a part of that team. Brianna Collins is a part of that team. Amanda Workman is actually our coach with the West Virginia Community Development Hub. David Cantu and Michelle Mauser. And we recently spent 2 days in Fayetteville with some very intensive training to try to wrap our heads around what this e-communities program is all about. And we've had a little bit of success with that, but we still have a lot of learning to do. And I know you have a lot of questions and want to find out what it's all about. And it's going to be kind of difficult to do that in an hour and a half or 2 hours here this evening. But we will get started and get moving with it. Now, what is e-communities? I'll go ahead and take that, Amanda, and then I'll pass off to you. But e-communities is a program. And Brandon, can you hold the book up, please? That shows that it's well used, and it's good to see it as dog-eared. But it comes from the Central for Rural Development, Center for Rural Entrepreneurship, based in Nebraska. And it's a tried and proven program that these people have put together based on research and solid methodology that has worked in other states. Taylor County was chosen to participate in this with 4 other communities in the state of West Virginia. Now, there also will be communities in the states of Kentucky and Ohio that will be participating as well, but it's being funded by the Appalachian Regional Commission, and Amanda will get into that more a little later. But it is a 3-year initiative, and so we're kind of into it for the long haul. Some of the results we may not see for 10 years hence, but we've got to get started and get moving with it and make it work. So what do we want to accomplish in 3 years? If you look up here behind me, we see what we expect as far as success in 3 years. Measurable results, business growth, new and existing businesses. Businesses with a succession plan, meaning once you get into business, how do you plan to get out? It's best to be able to market that business and not just hang a closed sign, lock your door, and walk away someday. Awareness of available resources. We've got resource people here in the, I want to say room, but in the shelter here with us tonight. Some from in town and some who have traveled here from out of town. But as we move along, we found that there's a lot more resources out there than what you think. Less duplication of resources. You know, Taylor County is a small county. We don't need to be doing our own separate thing all the time when we can work together and better capitalize on what our assets are. But as a relatively small county, that's very important. We need a more positive work environment, not just in the places of employment, but in our businesses, in our communities, in our churches, in every organization, walking up and down the street. We need a more positive environment. And we need a culture change from a can't-do mentality to a can-do mentality. I am totally struck by the number of people from outside our community who come in here and talk about the amazing potential that Taylor County has. And we live here every day, and we often fail to see it. But we do have that potential, and we can make it work for us. That's what we hope to do in 3 years. But the important thing is, what do we want to accomplish right away in the next 12 months? We want the dialogue to change from a do it for me to how I can do it for myself conversation. We want progress in the city and county working together. We want working with X number of entrepreneurs. There's people here tonight who have identified themselves as being a potential business owner or who are entrepreneurs. And let's just stop right there for just a minute. What is an entrepreneur?
Successful business owner.
A successful business owner. There's something else. Entrepreneur. Michelle, David, Donna, somebody help me out. What's our definition? A civic entrepreneur. An entrepreneur we defined as being someone who recognizes opportunity and capitalizes on it and continually improves upon it. And there's three different types of entrepreneurs. There's the business entrepreneur, which we think of, Jeanette. There's the civic entrepreneur, which might be somebody like Mayor Barney or Kevin Stead. And then we also have social entrepreneurs, people like Kathy Coons-Griffith or Jeanette, okay? But you realize opportunity and you capitalize on it and you continually try to build on it to make it better. We want to be able to identify within the next 12 months individuals to be a part of the task teams, and we're going to hear more about them here this evening, and those individuals doing the work. Business resource section in the local library. We think that's important. So that if you want to start up your business, there's some place to go in the local library where you can find hands-on materials. They've got internet over there, they've got computers, but you can find hands-on materials on how to get your business license, what kind of organization you should have within your business, and so on and so forth. Have the area Small Business Development Center coach, Susie. You're really not our coach, but thank you for being here.
But I can be.
You can be? Okay, you are.
Yeah. We all work together.
See,
our goal is making a success. It doesn't matter who it is.
And you know, that really strikes me, and hearing that come from you, and also talking with the gentleman from the Small Business Administration, Mr. Batten, the other day, that how willing they are to work with people and cross lines, and there are no boundaries. Identify a VISTA member to assist us, a volunteer in service to America, and identify resources to assist with succession planning. So those are the things we want to do this first year, which is basically to organize, to identify those people, one, who are budding entrepreneurs or businesses that need help or businesses that look to do better, and also identify those resources that we could connect to them to help them achieve their goals and get to where they want to be. So with that, Amanda, I will turn it over to you and you can take it away.
Okay, so I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the partnerships that we have through this program. So the Center for Rural Entrepreneurship, as Tom had mentioned, they're the ones who approached Stephanie, my executive director, and said, hey, we have this program, we've seen huge success in other states. I would say Kansas has probably been their biggest success story. And we have an idea of, we want to partner with 3 states and have this going on at the same time. So it was the Hub in West Virginia, the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky in Kentucky, and Rural Action, which is in Ohio. So we have 4 communities here from West Virginia that are a part of the program, and that's Grafton. We have Lincoln County. It was focused on Hamlin, and they've decided to focus on the entire county. It was Pineville in Wyoming County. They have also decided to focus on the entire county. And then we have Madison in Boone County, and they're really focused on Madison. So there's teams doing the same exact thing that you all are doing here. So you'll have that, you kind of have that sisterhood or brotherhood, whatever you want to call it, in your own state. Well, then there's 7 communities in Kentucky that are going to be doing the exact same thing, and 7 communities in Ohio that will also be doing it. It's funny, the center wanted us to have 7 communities, and when we started talking about the geographical area and how, sometimes I just went to Matewan last week and it took me 4 hours one way to get there, and we were like, we don't think we can do 7 communities, so that's why we have 4, because it's what we could handle. So it is a 3-year timeline, but we really want to focus on this first year and what we can do in this first year. I will say that Brianna and I are going to have the opportunity to meet the other coaches in Kentucky and Ohio in a few weeks at our coaches training, and they are definitely looking at West Virginia, because West Virginia, we're ahead right now in the program. And I'll say that Grafton and Lincoln County are the 2 West Virginia communities that are ahead. So they're watching us and they're learning from us, and we're going to encourage the community members to reach out. If you guys want to talk to someone in Kentucky, or someone from Kentucky wants to talk to you all, we're going to really encourage that. And I'm hoping that all of you will be open to that as well. So we were funded through ARC, and that was through the Power Initiative. We had to fight a little bit to get Grafton in this program, because it was really focused on coal and southern coal impacted communities. And we said, hold up, let's talk about Grafton a little bit and their relationship with Lear Mine and some of the really good things that have happened there. And Stephanie had several conversations with the development office, and finally we were able to make that happen. So I'm really happy. I'm happy you all are happy. And it's just great that the hub we get to continue to be part of your community as well. So Brianna, I think you're up next, even though Tom stole some of your
I just want to steal
magic.
one more thing. I've got to steal one more thing here. Back to Lear, we're very tickled to have Lear participating with us as a proactive partner in being in the coal industry. And when Amanda said that right now Lincoln County and Grafton or Taylor County are neck and neck with what we're doing with this e-communities thing, it's going to be no competition. We're going to win hands down because we've got a bigger grill. That's it. Brianna?
And it really isn't a competition, but I'm a really competitive person, so.
It's a competition.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we will accomplish through this program, and kind of what Grafton will look like in 3 years and in 5 years and in 10 years, down the road, once we actually implement this and can see the results, because, that's how community development work is. You don't see the results right now. It kind of takes a little bit of time. So we will discover that we, have this community of entrepreneurs, and that will always continue to grow because we are able to provide them with the resources internally and externally that they need to be successful. And of course, all of their help that they get will be tailored to their needs, what their business is, what stage of business development that they're in. The involvement and education of our youth plays a significant part in the sustainability of this program. So I think it's really important that we actually set the stage. We be the example so that these young people in Grafton can see that you can be successful business owners here, and then we give them the education and the tools that they need to be able to start their own businesses here, so that this continues to go on, for generations in the future. And basically through all this, through the community and all of us and everybody, being supportive and encouraging people to have these businesses here, we will start to retain and regain our population, and we'll actually boost our own economy through local business. That's all I got.
So Dawn has been working with Susie, a business coach, and I wanted her to share a little bit about her experience so far, because hopefully many of you will be going through the same thing when you were starting your own business.
So back in May when we went to Fayetteville, we were sitting around talking, and they started talking about business coaches, and I'm like, never heard of it before. So got Susie's name, and so we played telephone tag for a while. We finally got in touch, and I told her, I said, I already have a business in town. We're going to open another one, and I just need some advice. And she said, do you have the primitive shop downtown? And I'm like, yeah. And she said, well, I've been there before. I know your sister. She worked at Grafton City Hospital, so that was kind of cool. So she did come and see me, and we've talked, and she has hooked me up with resources. I've been to Buchanan. I went to a small business there and worked hands-on with them for a couple days while I was on my vacation. And I met a resource there where I can buy items from the gentleman for my new business. And I continue to work with Susie. We're going to get together hopefully sometime next month and go the next step. She's helping me work on my business plan, which I've never done before. So, but anyways, it's just nice to know that there is somebody out there, because when we opened Arts and Treasures, we bought the building, and it's like, we got to be open by Christmas. So we bought stuff and put in there, and we opened. So this other business is all new to me, but it's very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it. But it's just great to have somebody that we can reach out to and can help us, guide us along with what we need to do.
Thank you very much. Let's just talk one moment, because Amanda, I've really screwed the agenda up by jumping around. But I might as well just go ahead. But back on talking about why is it so important to energize our community entrepreneurially. And Amanda alluded to the fact, or talked about the fact, that this e-communities program was generally designed for those communities who were negatively impacted by the downturn in the coal industry. You know, we're very fortunate in Taylor County that our economy is being impacted positively by the coal industry and what's happening out here at Lear Mine. So we're in a unique situation. But we can all remember, and we go back to when the railroad pulled their operations out of the local Grafton yard. What did that start? It started a great downward spiral, and which really affected our economy. You saw people pick up and move out. You saw businesses closed. You saw buildings become dilapidated, houses become dilapidated, on and on and on. But that's what happens when a local economy puts all their eggs in one basket. It's great to have a business that employs over 400 people in your community. That's fantastic. But what's even better than that is if you had 10 businesses that employed 40, or 40 businesses that employed 10. And then if one of them goes out, or two of them goes out, your economy's not devastated. And also you have more of a diverse economy. Think of a farmer, for instance. If a farmer grows nothing but corn, Brian Smith, and he has a bad year drought-wise, or a corn borer outbreak comes through, and he loses all of his crop, what happens? He makes no money. But if that farmer has corn, and he has soybeans, and he has hogs, and he has chinchillas or whatever, then he's got more of a diverse market basket. So if the weather negatively affects one, he doesn't go down the tubes. So, kind of in a nutshell, that's what we're trying to get at, to create in this community a more diverse and robust business environment that is spread across many different things, both retail and service, and to help those people become employed with their own businesses and hopefully employ other people. So with that being said, we'll move on and call Donna back up here to explain to us what the role of this leadership team that we have in place. So what do we do?
Okay, so all the leadership teams that we were all introduced earlier, but our role is for guidance, direction, instruction. We want to help develop those who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs, identify and recruit, and our focal point for growing and maintaining the community's area resource network. With that being said, we are on a timeline with this program. We have to set dates, we have to meet our goals, and that's one of the big things that we're responsible for. And in doing that, then it'll keep us on task and this program will be successful for Taylor County.
Thank you. Next, you can go ahead and come up. Next up is Michelle Mauser, and Michelle, you're going to be talking to us about, what are we doing? What are you doing?
How you can get involved.
How you can get involved with this.
So, well, you've taken the first step by coming tonight and just learning a little bit about what we're going to be doing here. The way you can get involved is we're going to have 2 task teams. One's the resource team and one is the outreach team. And I'll tell you a little bit about each of those so you know when we start to break up into the 2 teams which one you prefer one to work on. The resource team is going to identify business needs, and they're going to help develop resources to help you fill those needs. For example, lawyers, you may need help setting up your business, the legal aspects of it. Accountants, you may need help with selecting a bookkeeping system or an accounting system or tax issues. And the second team, task team, is the outreach team. And they're going to reach out to business owners. Their goal is going to be to reach out to business owners, go and meet with them, that team will. I mean, not the whole team, but, 2 or 3 people, and go and sit down with those business owners and find out what their needs are, how they need to get involved, how they want to get involved. And then we will identify the resources and provide them with the resources. For instance, Susie, if they need help with a business plan or something like that. And that's all I have. So be thinking about which team you want to, task team you want to get involved with, either the resource team or the outreach team.
I can talk about it.
Are there questions about the 2 different teams? When you guys break out, I am going to ask you to get up and move in a minute, and I want you to choose a team. We'll do resources on this side and outreach on this side. And when you guys get into those teams, you can talk a little bit more about really what is the purpose of the team, what are your goals, and I have a whole list of other things I want you to work on too. So everybody up and move to whichever side of the room you want to be on, whatever team you want to be on. Resource over here, outreach on this side.